All right, welcome back to Sportsline, everybody, right here on News Channel 5 Plus. In 2017, Joseph Newgarden, originally from Hendersonville, Tennessee, achieved a major goal in his racing career by winning the IndyCar Points Championship. Now, Joseph makes his home now in Charlotte, North Carolina, but he still has a lot of Middle Tennessee on his mind. He was making the rounds today back in his hometown, promoting Sunday's Grand Prix of Alabama race, one of the bigger races on the IndyCar Cup circuit and one of the best tracks on the IndyCar Cup circuit. The fourth race of the year as Joseph Newgarden looks to win a second straight points championship. He visited us earlier today. He talked about that, and I also asked him about finally winning that elusive Indy 500 that he hopes will happen this year. Here's Hendersonville's Joseph Newgarden. Joseph, welcome home, man. How's it feel to be back in Middle Tennessee?
It's always good to be back. You know, it's this is a special time. Headed down to Birmingham, Alabama. This is kind of my home race. I'm actually going down there for race 4 of the 2018 IndyCar season, and that's the closest place we got to Nashville. So, you know, my roots here in this city. That's probably the best spot for people to go to and check out an IndyCar race.
Yeah, I know, like you said, this is race 4 of the season, but do you still take time to reflect on what you did last year, winning the championship? That was such a big accomplishment in your career at such a young part of your career.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, last year was a big deal, and I kind of felt the pressure. You know, the Preds were doing so well last year, and they had such a good run. You know, even if it didn't end perfectly, they had a pretty magical season, and for us it was very similar. You know, we had a great season throughout the entire year and had a close championship battle at the end, and then we're actually able to win the championship. So it's a very big deal, something we'd worked on all year, and really for me personally, something I've been working on my whole life. So you know, to be in a position to drive race cars and finally win a national championship in the Verizon IndyCar Series, it was something very special.
How different did it make your off season being the champ in terms of like commitments and people wanting to talk to you and, you know, doing the rubber chicken circuit and all that stuff?
You know, it's very busy in the off season. You know, getting to drive for Team Penske, it's a huge privilege, but they sure put you to work. You know, we have a lot of different partners, and so much that we do that goes into the race season, and then, you know, you finish that all up, you win a championship, you think you're going to be all done, and then you have to go see everybody. You got to celebrate with everyone, but they keep us busy. They keep us busy in the off season, you know, seeing all our partners, different functions to go to, but then also a lot of testing that we do in the off season to try and get ready for the next year. So it's just a constant cycle of trying to be better than the next guys, and you know, we have a new car that we're working with this year in IndyCar, so trying to figure that out and get the most out of it and win another championship, win an Indianapolis 500. That's keeping us very, very busy in the off season.
You mentioned it, this race in Alabama, the closest race you get to your home, where you're from. What makes this race in Alabama so special? What can fans expect?
To me, Alabama is one of the best places to go for an IndyCar race. You go to Birmingham. It's an easy city to get down to. It's 3 hours from Nashville. You know, if you want to go to the Indianapolis 500, that's a big race to go see too. That's our Super Bowl. But you know, I love Birmingham. That's a great city, and then the racetrack's even better. And we've always called it the Augusta of motorsports because it's such a gorgeous racetrack. I mean, they put millions of dollars. I think, you know, over $200 million into the facility itself. So it's really well manicured. It's one of the most beautiful places you'll ever see. It was built by a very passionate motorsports person that loves race bikes, loves race cars. So they've been running there for a long, long time, and you know, to be able to see that type of track. It's actually built into a bowl, so there's a lot of hilltops that people can watch most of the track from and really enjoy going out with their family, just like a baseball game. So it's one of my favorite tracks to race a car, and I think probably one of my favorite tracks to watch a race at.
You obviously have won a championship, you've won your share of races, but I know that great white whale is still out there, the Indy 500. I know that's your dream for you and your team to win it. What's it going to take to finally get over the hump and win that elusive Indy 500?
Yeah, the Indy 500 is it's the crown jewel for us. You know, that's our Super Bowl in IndyCar racing, and it's something we look forward to every year. You know, we try and win the championship. That's a huge deal. That's one of our goals, but probably our most primary goal is winning the Indianapolis 500. I mean, that is really the best that it gets. It's the hardest race to win. You only get one shot. You know, it's a huge deal. It's a big build-up during the month of May, so yeah, for us, we got to try and, you know, really have everything buttoned up as best as we can, just to give ourselves an opportunity. And then if we're there at the end of the race and we have a chance to win it, we'll try and get it done.
You mentioned the Predators. Have you been keeping up with what they've been doing in the playoffs? And how do you like their chances this year to finally get that Stanley Cup here in Nashville?
Yeah, definitely. You know, I think the Predators have done an amazing job. You know, this city of Nashville, they embrace good sports teams. You know, whenever we're doing well, I mean, we're supportive when we're not doing well, but when we're doing well, the whole city really comes together and supports it. You saw last year with the Stanley Cup. It was a big deal in downtown Nashville. So it was fun to see that from afar. And it was a shame I didn't get to go to any of the playoff games because I was busy racing. But you know, just seeing the support that Nashville has for their sports teams is impressive. So yeah, I think they've got a good shot. You know, they're the best team right now in the series. So I think they've got all the opportunity in front of them to make it happen. And this year, I hope we go all the way. You know, we got to the Stanley Cup, but we need to do that again, and then we need to seal it up this time.
How about just the city of Nashville for sports in general? I mean, it's, you know, you got the Predators doing what they're doing. We got a couple of soccer teams coming in.
Yeah.
We're talking about maybe having a draft here. I've heard rumors that maybe WrestleMania will come here. I mean, you got to be proud to hail from here and see how the city has grown from a sports perspective.
Yeah, Nashville's impressive. You know, it's a town you want to be a part of now, and you know, it's always been that way. But I think it's getting the recognition that it really deserves, and it's grown a lot. You know, I moved away probably 10 years ago. So I've been back and forth coming to Nashville, but I haven't been here full time for a while, and it's just grown so much, and it really is a sports city. You know, I mean, with our Titans, and when they do well, everyone's happy about it. The Predators have always been strong, and it's really good to see them fighting so strongly now in the playoffs and for the Stanley Cup, and then yeah, everything else that's coming to the city. And the good thing is, I actually think it's a very good racing town. You know, there's a lot of racing fans here that like IndyCar racing, that come up to the Indianapolis 500. I meet so many people all the time at racetracks that say they're from Nashville or the surrounding areas from Nashville. So it's always good to come back home here and see the sport love that we have in the city.
Joseph Newgarden, the defending 2017 Verizon IndyCar champion. Hailing from Hendersonville, Tennessee. As we said, he makes his home now in Charlotte, North Carolina, getting ready for the Grand Prix of Alabama, which comes up this Sunday in Birmingham. You got nothing to do. It's only a 3-hour drive. Go on down and cheer on your hometown kid. We'll come back and wrap up the show right after this. Stay with us.